I just moved from Portland 6 months ago. I lived there for 4 years. And it was refreshing. One, Portland's such a beautiful town.
Yeah.
You did a great job filming it. And,
Thanks.
And I'm so glad that you also got everything right. You know, sometimes, like when they're in a town, they name the wrong streets or the wrong bridges or so forth.
Well, I've always liked to get things right, and especially where you're telling a story where you're asking the audience to believe the authenticity of everything going on. Yeah, I'd say so to my assistant. So we're talking about this literally. What's that neighborhood? And is that street in that neighborhood? Or the house that we used for the senator's house, or the congressman's house? What exact neighborhood is it in? And in a place like that, it's pretty easy. And you know, and the people in Portland really appreciated the degree to which we were trying to get things right.
You also got the jargon in the beginning. They throw all this computer stuff. I actually, being a computer kind of a geek, I got it, and it makes it. You did a great job of explaining almost the impossible in so little, in just a few sentences. I think
That's good to know.
Yeah.
No, it's gratifying because we worked really hard to accomplish that.
There was a lot of complicated gadgets, I would say. You know, the death machine, or pretty much anything. Where do you go for such advice to get these people to think of these things, but to get it to look like it actually works?
Well, you mean the devices we used to kill? Well, you know, my special effects guy, a guy named Lars Anderson, who had done the last movie with me, a movie called Fracture. We regarded that as the low tech of the movie.
He did
we designed, and then he built Rube Goldberg. That actually the methods of death, they're fairly unsophisticated. They're they're clever, but they're low tech, and yet then you go from there to this guy taking that and contrast it with the very high tech method of communicating this stuff, and you bridge that rather huge gulf. I mean, all the equipment there. I mean, you know, the first guy is strung up to a bed spring. The second guy is just sort of buried in cement, and a bunch. And all the lights that you see around them are just like hooked onto pallets, like the pallets that you see for cargo. And the third one is just a big tub of glass. But it was. Oh, well, you sit around and you daydream. What would be a really bad way to die?
Exactly. All right, there's a scene when Diane Lane's character finds out about Colin's character. She goes out onto a stairwell.
Yeah.
Why did you shoot her from that angle? I mean, what was your thing?
Well, I walking around that building, I found that thing, and I knew. You know, originally they had in the script was the old thing about she runs out of the room, she goes in the bathroom, and she throws up in the sink. And I go, you know, how many times have we seen that one? Let's just figure out something else that's more interesting. And in the course of scouting around this building, I found that particular shot, and the idea of her just running and just hanging over this thing and looking down into this abyss, and us just getting her face and then being able to shoot up as she begins to put things together and then scamper away. It was partly architecture, partly, you know, a nifty shot, but I thought that it got us to the same place without getting, you know, without going the distance of throwing up or something.
That's my favorite scene in the movie, because she delivers so much emotion in that scene, but it was just so different to see it at that angle and the stairwell, and I was just
fun.
curious
It was
to see
fun.
what
She did
thinking
great.
was behind